Group coaching session. I do have some cool things to show you today. So, if you are unaware, in our program, we are, or me, I guess, I am a Black Label reseller of Play. So, all of the members, you receive a white label version of Play that you can white label and resell as your own. So Play just released this super cool feature where you can actually send direct mail campaigns. Okay, so I'm going to show you all of that, but I want to make sure that you know how to join if you are a member. Let me move some things around because you have multiple screens open. Okay, and I've let everyone in. So let me share my screen. I'm going to show you how you can join our Zoom meeting if you're a member and how you can become a member. Okay, so first of all, if you're already a member, you want to click here to get logged in. And when you do that, let me close out of here, you'll see the option to join as a client or as an affiliate, meaning to log in. If you're a client, that means that you signed up directly to us and you have access to our dashboard. Okay. So if you have access to the dashboard, you want to go to the community tab and you'll see here in the learning tab, you can either click here to access the group coaching, or you can go to the learning tab, I'm sorry, not high level overview. You want to go back to the Zoom support. Okay, so you can click here and then you can click for the Friday session here. That'll take you right into the Zoom meeting. Okay, now if you are an affiliate and you do not have access to our dashboard, you can click here and then you're going to go to the external link, same area. It's just you're not accessing it in the dashboard. Same thing, you're going to go to learning and you can also click here, then go to Friday session here. All right. Now, if you would like to become a member, you can actually join our free community if you want to access some of our courses and all of that. You can resell our AI Ads Manager here, or you can sign up to high level or upgrade to SaaS and then resell the AI Ads Manager as well. So if you click here, just to briefly explain to you, this option, you'll see if we go down here, this option is for access to my dashboard. Okay, there are some different features that you have inside of here. So you want to basically decide which option is best for you. Now, if you would like to sign up for high level and you want the ability to resell high level as well as our white label AI ads manager, then you can choose the high level option there, and then you'll see the plans here. You will get a free starter plan if you decide to sign up for high level as our affiliate using this link here. Or you can upgrade to the SaaS plan. If you're already a high level member and you do not want to, you're on the SaaS plan maybe, or you don't want to upgrade to the SaaS plan, you can join our membership directly here using one of these plans. Okay. So hopefully that explains that to you. Let me stop sharing. I want to make sure. I know I got some people waiting here. Let you all in. Okay, so I did want to, before we dive into the Q&A portion, I did want to share with you this new release here. Let me let Terry in. This is super cool. And of course, you guys, as long as you have your AI Ads Manager, these things are already released to your accounts. Okay. So you can see inside of my account here, you'll see this direct mail option. All right. Now to turn this on, you need to go inside of your accounts and you'll go to the client tab here and you'll want to go to the account that you want to, let me let Terry in. You want to go to the account that you want to turn this on, and because it defaults to being off. Okay, so you just need to, if I wanted to turn this direct mail option on for this client here, I would just go there and then to the ad platforms, and then you would just want to toggle this on. Okay, like I said, it does default to being turned off. So when you turn it on, you'll go to the advertise tab and then you will see it here. Okay, I don't have it turned on there. Let's go back here. So we have the direct mail. So what you want to do, this is super easy to set up. All right. So we need to create a postcard, because with direct mail, what's actually happening is we are creating a postcard and we're going to send a physical postcard to physical locations. All right. And all of this is done automatically through Play or our white label AI ads manager, however you're using it. So the first thing that we want to do is create a postcard that is 1875 by 1275. Okay. It needs to be like JPEG or one of these options. I did create a postcard that was these exact dimensions, but it would not accept it. It said it needed to be larger than that. So I would say when you're creating this, do 1876 by 1276. Okay, so I did this in Canva, and you can see you can actually just search postcards here. And then you'll find tons and tons of templates according to like whatever your business style is. You can see lots of cool templates that you can use. I actually just used one of those templates and I created this here just to give you an example. I don't know that I'll send these out because, but if, and honestly, I was thinking if I still had my local business, this would have been amazing to be able to use. Because with a local business, it's like you do want to send to the area, you know, to the homes in the area. And I'm going to show you how you can really choose your audience and all of that when you place this order. Okay. So let's, I'm going to go ahead and upload this. Let me find my file here that I have. Okay. All right, so now I've uploaded this template here, and we're going to go through the process. So there's what it's going to look like. I'm going to go ahead and click continue. Here, I can choose the font that I want, but I need to choose like a message here. So if I was going to send this out for my program, I would want to offer something like with the low barrier entry, right? So I would say, join our free community to learn more. Okay. And then now I'm going to put a link to a QR code here. Okay. Or not a link to a QR code. I want to put a link that is going to, when they scan the QR code that we're going to create, it's going to go to that. Now, I would want to create a specific offer for my community, which I have here. Okay. So I have community.myvisionagency. Now I want to show you what this looks like, okay? Because I think it's a good way of being able to kind of visualize how I would do this, right? So I have my basic website. All I did was just copy it, all right? But instead of saying get access to or whatever, I'm saying discover how to, okay? And then I'm also like just telling more about, you know, discover how to use high level, because that's really what you're going to learn in our program, right? Discover how to use the AI positioning. I have all of my reviews, and then I'm going to explain what they get for joining the free community, which is pretty compelling. I load this free community down with like crazy stuff. Okay, so that is my website to join the free community. So let's follow the customer journey here, okay? We are going to choose targeted people to send these postcards to. The people are going to receive the postcard in the mail, and then they are going to decide, do they want to scan the QR code? You know, are we going to make this compelling enough? So when we're talking about does direct mail work, it works if you work it, right? So it's like, it all just depends on your offer. If I'm sending to the wrong people and I don't have a very clear offer when they scan the QR code, then that's not the direct mail's fault, right? That's my fault because I didn't choose the right people that would resonate with my offer. So always keep that in mind when you're doing any type of advertising at all, okay? So I can change the style of the font here if I want to. You can see when I change it, it changes that style. Of course, I want to make it kind of clear. So let's just try shopping list here. But you'll see it generates the QR code. This is what the back of the QR code or the back of the postcard is going to look like. The front will look like the image that you uploaded, and then this will be the back, okay? So we're going to go ahead and continue when we have that. Now, here is something so cool. You can actually put an address. So if I wanted to put my business address, let's Google it. Okay, My Vision Agency. So this is my Google listing here. So if I wanted to put my business address and I wanted to target everyone within a certain location of my business, I could just add that address there. And then I could choose, do I want the nearest neighbors? Do I want absentee homeowners, likely to move, likely to downsize, likely to refi? Are you guys blown away I know we have some real estate agents and brokers in our program, so I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, if I was in real estate, this would be a gold mine, right? How many of us have received those postcards in the mail that say, "Are you looking to sell? We'll buy your home for cash," right? These are the postcards. This is how you would do that, right? Home equity, 50% plus, home free and clear. And all we're doing is just selecting from the category, property has pools. Are they a renter, potential first-time home buyer, retiring, retired, only businesses, or new businesses? That's so cool, right? So we want to choose, how we would want to target, Now, if I am a software reseller, not a lot of these things are relevant to me so much, but maybe I just want business owners, right? If I'm reselling the white label AI ads manager and I'm targeting business owners, then maybe that would be a relevant option for me. And I can also choose to include condos or not, which if I'm in real estate, that would be an important thing. And then I want to choose how many of these postcards would I like to generate? So let's say 1,000. Okay. And then let's toggle this on. Let's say that I want to do that. Now, I could also just put like a general area in here. So let's say if I didn't have, an exact address, I could just type in like Greenwood, Indiana, which is kind of near me. And then I could choose still from the drop-down list. Okay. So once you've selected all of that, you want to click continue, and then you'll see what your postcard is going to look like. Okay. So join our free community to learn more. And then here would be their address. Here, you're going to put your address, your business address. So I would say My Vision Agency, and then we need the street address. And you guys, this is why I use Anytime Mailbox. It's like $10 a month, but it gives you a virtual address, not a PO box, which is much more professional. Also, if you look up my business right here and you look at the map to see what it looks like, you'll see that it's actually, oh, how do you pull up the image there? Let's just do directions. I just want to show you because it is important. Let's see. All right, let's zoom in to the address here.
What was that service called again?
Which one?
Address thing.
This here?
No. You said you use a service called Anytime Address.
Oh, Anytime Mailbox. Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. So you can see here, like if we zoom in and you can pick, I mean, they have locations all over the world, but what's really cool is this is actually a virtual mailbox. Okay. So it's like, you can see here's the business location, and it is also a shared office space. So if you look up my business, it doesn't show my home address for security reasons. That's important. But it also shows, a downtown building that I could legitimately have packages shipped to. I could have mail shipped to. Anytime you get mail shipped to this location, they'll actually update. You have like an app, and they'll update you, and it'll show like what it actually looks like. And you can tell them if you want them to shred it, discard it, or even forward it to another address. Okay. So that's kind of a side training there that in case you guys are like, oh, how do I do that? Okay, so I want to just add my address here, and let's say it is Indianapolis. So we'll get rid of this. All right, so there's my business address now. And let's go ahead and click continue. And now you can see the actual estimated price. Okay, so for 1,000 of those, it's going to be $1.38 per recipient. That includes the printing of the postcards and sending the postcards. Okay. So that leaves a total of $1,380. All right. Now, the way that this works, because this is, if you make this available to your clients, they will be able to go in here and place an order. You, as the admin of your own white label agency, when they click confirm and pay, what's going to happen is a little dashboard will show up here. You, as the admin, will receive the invoice. Okay. You will pay Plai the amount here, and then you will charge your client. Okay, so because that's the way that it's set up right now, and you guys, this was just released yesterday. Okay, so I'm sure that this process will change, But as of right now, if you guys would like to use this, here's what I recommend you do. Okay. First of all, I would create another account for this client and then not give them access. I would want them to either pay me or create the postcard, and then I would choose all of this for them and then do confirm and pay, and then I would get the invoice. Now, before I would do any of that, what I would do is go into my account and I would create a product of 1,000 postcards. Okay. Now in this product, I'm going to choose like a setup fee. Okay. So let's do, trying to remember how to do. Okay. So that would be actually, let's do this together. Okay. I don't want to have to tell you something wrong. So let's say, direct mail. So remember, this package would cost me like $1,300. Okay. But 1380, but I'm still going to have Stripe processing fees. I'm still going to have to pay taxes on this. So I definitely want to mark this up if I'm going to be doing this for a client. Okay. So I'm going to do direct mail, let's say 1,000. All right, now you can fill out all of this and add taxes if you want to, but it's really just going to be a one-time thing. So I'm going to figure out whatever I need, whatever's going to make it worthwhile to me to be able to do this. So let's say $1,500, okay, is what I'm going to charge to get all of this set up. Now, really, for me, setting it up is nothing, especially if they're creating that postcard. But even for me, when I was using Canva, using a template, this took me about 10 minutes. Okay, so we're going to do a one-time fee there, and you can either charge an additional setup fee, like do it in a partial payment, or you can just lump it all together. I really encourage you just lump it all together because business owners, if they see like what it's actually going to cost and then the one-time fee, which is what I was thinking originally, then it looks like, well, I could just set it up myself, and we don't want to deal with that. So we're just going to do a one-time price here, and then we're going to click save. All right, so that's going to be my product. I don't need it in the store, but that's going to be my product. Now, when that client purchases that option, I can just create a payment link here. All right, so let's go to payment link and let's choose that product, which is direct mail here. And then again, we just, do we want them to add their phone number, collect that? Do we want to add coupons? And then you can even do like the buy now, pay later if you want to, if you have that selected in your Stripe account. And you could also add the terms if you want to. Once this link is created, you'll be able to just share that with them. Sorry, we'd have to put terms if there. Once this is created, all we have to do at this point is just simply either send the link to them, or we can go back here and then just copy here and then send them the link. Then once they pay, we would then pay Play, and then of course we keep the difference. Okay. So I know you guys have tons of questions. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah, I was on it yesterday, after we after of course we got off the call and running through it. What size did you use on the because I found that out too when I was the dimensions
Yeah.
aren't exact. So I just kind of went slightly above, but what dimensions did you use? I might have missed it if you said it.
Yeah, I literally did like one above what it recommended.
Okay, just one above. Okay.
Yeah, because I
Okay.
had it says on there to use that image size, but then
Right.
when I went to upload the image that it was, and definitely I'm gonna report this to Play because these are
Hmm.
all the things we want to
Hmm.
do, especially as resellers. We want to help
Right.
them because we benefit.
Right.
But anyway, all that aside, the when I uploaded that exact image, it said that it needed to be greater, so I just
Right.
tried one. I added one more,
Mm.
and it worked fine.
I rounded up to the nearest hundred, so I was just like, whatever. I don't know. So okay, one is what we need to be rounding up to. But no, I mean, I think the tool is definitely really cool. Um, um, yeah, I mean, well, I think it's cool. I had to sound the alarm yesterday.
I know. I'm glad that you did because I didn't we got the email while I was live and so I didn't
Uh,
see it. And then as soon as
uh,
as soon as you said that I was like, "No, get out of here."
yeah,
This is
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Yeah.
You
So
know,
I'm
I
I'm
think this is what I love so much about reselling software, the right software, because I mean, your partners, the people that you partner with as a software reseller, it really makes all the difference because you are putting yourself and your business basically in their hands. So when they are stagnant and they're not, they're not creating new features, they're not supporting the tool, all of that looks really bad on you, the business owner, when you're reselling their tools. It's especially important as white label because then you can't even say, "Oh, sorry, I contacted them," and they're not, you know, as a white label, it's like, you're the business. So I'm contacting you, and then now you're not helping me. So it just makes you look really bad. So if you get with great partners like Play and High Level, then the tool is always being updated, they're always supporting it, and you can say, look what our developers just created. It's awesome.
yeah.
So Charles, how would you use, and you're in financial services, how do you think that you would use direct
I
mail?
mean,
Would you use
we
it for clients?
would I use it for what?
Would you use it for yourself or clients?
Self. I mean, so we already in the past we would use direct mail anyway in regard to clients. So I mean, when I seen it, I already knew what it was. I mean, I already have statistics on, what direct mail, did and cost per lead and all the other type stuff. So I was just sitting there running some numbers and putting together the actual campaign. I love the QR code element of it. You can throw a telephone number on there as well too. So there's some other back end stuff that you can build out with that. So I just took to my notepad and sketched out a couple things, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then I put it to the side, even though I want to do it right now.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, cool. I'll turn that around for a particular marketing campaign that I'm working on, but I'm working on another part, so I have to get to that. But yeah, it's really exciting. I mean, it's definitely like he said, Logan said in the video, the response rate is fabulous. So it's definitely something to be on the lookout for. But real quick, because I see the hands going up, ClickUp. So I'm going through that process, and I heard you say it in the video. You were like, "Don't automate, just do it manually." So I'm working on that now. Um, where do you? I'm slightly confused between my list and my um task. So the task are like the actual action steps of the things that you're doing, and then the task would be just um I guess the objective that you're trying to reach. Is that right? Or the
Let's
goal?
let me go through with you the
Because I was trying to zap them and stuff like, and I said, let me. I mean, I now I know so much more about zapping, so I'm so excited about that. But I'm like, okay, let me just do it manually first instead of trying to, you know.
yeah. Let me get this here. Let me share my screen here. All right. So to understand really the ClickUp hierarchy, let's go here. Okay. This is a good diagram to really understand how all of this works. Okay. So you have your workspace, and that's like your business, right? Like you
Mhm.
may have like one workspace, or if you have multiple different businesses, like I actually have two workspaces, and one is for my business and one is for personal because we're updating our house. And as I was learning ClickUp before I could apply it to my business, I just decided, well, let me build a personal one and then see like organize all my home projects, which I love, by the way. I'm such a
Mhm.
geek, but it is so helpful to have that there so that what to plan for and all that stuff. But anyway, so
Definitely.
most of you will have one workspace. And then within the workspaces or within that workspace, you have different spaces. Okay. And then within that, you can see you have the lists, and then you can create folders to put the lists in. And then you have tasks and subtasks that are inside of the list. Does that help you understand?
Yeah, I think so. Because I mean, I have the workspace and I have the folders, and I was like, okay, that's kind of like a department, and then it's like, the lists are kind of like, I guess, the objectives, but then the actual, because I was looking back at different videos too that you did where you were sharing screen, it was like you had the task as the actual long story short, the task here would be the equivalent to the task in go high level, I guess you could say, like the action step. The task is the actual action step,
Yeah, so
and everything else above it is kind of like the organization of it.
yes. So it's like the way that I have mine, for example, I have a space that is called YouTube videos, okay,
Hmm.
inside of my workspace, because everything that I have to do with YouTube videos, I put in that space.
Hmm.
Now, in the lists, I have like what were actually now I can't even remember. Let me see. Let me pull up my ClickUp here and let me see. Click. Sorry, I just want to make sure I don't pull in my whole, expose my whole business here. It's funny when you go live, you always have to be it's about, oh, but I'll show everything. Okay. So let me pull this in here. So I have YouTube videos. You see, that's the folder. And then
Hmm.
I have lists in here. So I have communities, and I can't really break all this
Of
up and
course.
shit. But I have communities, so that's a list. So all the tasks and everything that I create are going to be inside the list of communities. Okay. And then those tasks can also have subtasks. So
Hmm.
let's say in the communities, I wanted you to, the one of the tasks inside the community list was to post to the My Vision Agency members group. Now, let's say that inside of that task, I also had a subtask to like answer questions or something, right? So
Hmm.
that's kind of how I would build that out in the hierarchy. So
Okay.
then we have blogs, and then of course in the blog list, there are tasks and then there are subtasks. So the subtasks are tasks within the task.
Hmm. Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing, and that's the reason they have that diagram there to show the hierarchy. The hardest thing for people to understand when you start getting into the project management part of your business and different software is simply understanding the hierarchy, like how you organize all of those things. And then once you do, though, you're
Right.
golden.
And
Yeah.
it's crazy because I figured out I wrote out a SOP for something real quick and I was just like, oh wow, okay, then I can put it here and then okay. And so I'm getting that part straight and I'm resisting the urge to automate it just immediately
Yeah.
and just go through it manually a couple times and then I'll go ahead and zap it on up and
Yeah. You
make it
know,
do what it do.
I will confess though, Charles, I definitely always like do everything manually and then automate. But when it came to ClickUp, it's such I already know Zapier, and ClickUp
Mm,
is such a beast to learn that I
hmm.
was like, I know. And I did have to rework my automation several times while I was learning like how
Hmm.
to really put everything together. And
Hmm.
I just set up the automations with ClickUp. I created the account and then set everything up. And
Hmm.
then as time went on, I just
Hmm.
kind of tested it as I went. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh, okay, it doesn't make sense for this to be in a list. It should be here in a folder.
Mm,
And then you also learn when you're setting up the automations in Zapier, it'll
mm.
ask you,
Yeah.
like, it'll make you put something in a folder. And then you're like,
Hmm.
oh, okay, well, I need to create a folder now.
Right.
So,
And that's what I'm going through because I was just
yeah,
like, I'm learning both of them at the same time, but
yeah,
I don't know. I guess at this point, it's really easy for me to learn Zapier for some reason. I'm like, okay, I get it. Ah, yeah, it's not that bad. It's automation. Okay, I get it. And you search for this stuff. But then it has my mind blown because I'm like, oh, I can connect it to this and I can connect it to that. And so that part's like just wildly exciting. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So,
It is.
uh,
And you know what? Honestly, you probably are very familiar with Zapier just because you're used to using the high level workflows. I mean,
right,
it's the same way. You have
right,
different options, a lot more options,
right.
but it's really the same thought process that you put into a workflow in high level is the same thought process you
And
put
that's
into.
why that part's like easy for me. And I'm just like, okay. And then what I realized that I didn't know is I didn't know ClickUp. And I was like, okay. And I watched the tutorial on that. And I'm like, okay, I think I got it. But it's a couple little things and I'm playing with filters and so I'm deep in there.
Yeah. And you know what's cool is when you go to hire a VA, all you have to
Mhm.
do is just change who that task or list is assigned to.
Right. And
All of it already built.
that's really why I'm building it out because I'm like, I want the SOPs standardized, of course. I mean, that's SOP anyway, but making sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing correctly. And then, like you said too, I'm thinking about the next step, which is the hire, and then it's automatic at that point. I just got to make a couple changes, assign some taxes, and keep it moving.
Yep, you're rocking and rolling, Charles. I honestly have no idea who's next. So if you guys know, definitely let me know. But I see Keith is at the top of the list. So we'll go with Keith unless you guys correct me.
Mine will be quick. I think I was first, but so quick question about the direct mail. Do you know if it's available in Canada? Is Play popular in Canada? So we have a different postal service, which is on the brink of bankruptcy, but we still have to use it. And if you don't know, no big deal. I can figure it out. And a quick comment on direct mail, because I am in real estate and I receive a ton of direct mail from real estate people, is the quality of the list. So the value that, popped up with your demonstration might be a little high relative to what we're used to here. But if the lists and the segmentation of those lists are really good, then it's worth it. So that's something to kind of research if you're going to use it for your own business.
Oh, yeah. You should definitely research everything. That's for sure. But this is a really great way for us, because when you're thinking about most of the people who are using this software are people who are not techie people, right? So that's why it's great because it makes it simple. And someone with more experience, like I know you've sent direct mailers and you have the software and all that stuff, but most people are not experts in that, right? And so if you're not an expert and you're a beginner and you want to offer this either software or this service to a client, it's a really great way of basically like entry level doing that.
Yeah,
But just to answer
absolutely.
your question about Canada, I put in that I backed this out and I just to type in like Canada and
Well,
I
type
see,
in British Columbia, maybe. Canada, there are other places named Canada. So
They
well,
try
have
it,
international
Vancouver,
rates
Vancouver,
too.
British Columbia, maybe.
okay, let's do Vancouver.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it is an option.
Great.
And
Yeah,
as
because
far as quality of
the
the leads,
pricing changes.
video.
You
Yeah, of
have
course.
because you have different pricing for outside the United States. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
so that I knew that they should have had it basically because they do have pricing for outside the United States.
Yes. And the pricing outside when you put
It's like
in Canada,
253, I think.
yeah, it is 253 per recipient.
Yep.
Okay, moving on to my more pressing concern. I had asked about this in a previous office hours, but I continue to have massive troubles, and I won't share my screen because I have my domains are hosted at different services, and that's a challenge to consolidate. But specifically in high level, um, I started a fresh sub account with your bio link site and added a
With
fresh
or
domain.
the coaching
Yeah,
snapshot or
yeah.
the okay,
From the 3-day high level coaching snapshot, just as a base. I added a domain to the new sub account, which I hadn't messed around with previously. So no redirects, no nothing, and no other additional values in the domain registry.
mhm,
And set it up. And I got caught in this horrible loop of high level not being able to. So it accepted, it was with GoDaddy,
mhm,
and it updated, no problem, authorized, and it shows in my high level as the www subdomain and the main domain. So
mhm,
then I go into sites, I go and connect that site to the domain,
mhm.
and I selected home is the what you named it. So
Uh-huh.
bio link as the name of the funnel, and then home as the page, as the only page. And it just keeps adding slash random numbers slash home, and none of it points to the domain. And I get all sorts of different errors. I have a DNS resolution error. I
Okay.
have,
I would say contact support for that because I
right.
have no idea unless I dig through the account and troubleshoot all of that. And then I don't have access to your account either. So
So
um,
high level, first level support, are they going to be able to help, or should I, do you have a hint as to where to go to get
yeah, in
a
the
better
top of
resolution?
Yeah, in the top of your dashboard.
No,
Just
sorry. Other than first level support, is there another spot, or is that the only spot I have to go to start getting help with it?
You can even start a Zoom meeting if you want with support. But this is high level support when you click the little.
And they'll escalate if they can't answer. Is that the process?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was kind of hoping you had somebody or somewhere to go to skip that, because I've had trouble there before, but I'll start there. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, I would say, I mean, if you like, I have HO Pro Tools as well for support, and they work for you and your clients. So, I mean, but honestly, I always go to high level. For me, I mean, I'm glad that my clients can go there. But for me,
Okay, that's good to hear, because I've heard other people say that high level support isn't as awesome. But if you have,
I disagree with that. I think it's more or less about, and I'm sorry, but I think it's more or less about how you explain it. What I can say now is, and this is me thinking back to when I first started talking to support, I didn't know what the heck I was talking about. So it's difficult for them because they're like, "What the heck are you talking about, Charles?" You know what I mean? So I know that that's kind of frustrating in the beginning, because you're like, it's just not working correctly. But even little things that I do now, like I send, like when I'm doing the ticket, because I know the process, I already have my recording done. And when I'm writing in the description, like boom, they already get they already get the link to the video so that they can see what the issue is before I even talk to them. I'm actually a little annoyed when they ask me when they haven't viewed the video first. You know what I'm saying? And what I will tell you, Keith, is normally when I contact Go High Level Support, I already know everything that I'm asking for is going to get escalated, which is fine. Because they have to go through the basics, and they're basically making sure that we're not tripping up on something basic. And so then when I'm recording the video, I'm going through the troubleshooting process as well too, so that they understand. Well, don't tell Charles to reset, like, do a hard reset. I'm just using that example because he already did that. So it's not that issue. It's something else. And it's just really how we communicate to them. If we communicate to them correctly, then they'll be like, oh, okay. And then they'll toss it to the developers. And once it's there with them, they do have you. Like I've had complex issues, and they've been able to really handle what I needed.
so I need to learn Portuguese to be able to talk to somebody in Portuguese. Is that what you're saying? And
I
they
mean,
need to know to
yeah. I mean,
speak with me.
yeah.
No,
It just
I
come.
get it.
Yeah, it come with time. You know what I'm saying? It do.
I
It do.
got you. Thanks, Charles.
There's
I did do a
there's two sides to that, because sometimes the guys who are that first level, they don't know as much as you know. And even when you communicate very
Facts.
well, it can be at times, it can be frustrating, because their responses, like if you've been working with your account for like a year plus and you know something's not right and you send it to them and they start asking you these questions, even with the video, or they haven't watched the video, it can be frustrating. So I get it. But it's just a part of the process, and you start to learn how to try to navigate certain things with, like that's reaching out to them may be your last resort, right? So just saying. And FYI, Keith, I can help you with that DNS issue. So if you just want to reach out later, I'll bypass your troubles with dealing with support, and I'll help you out. No problem.
The tech Jedi, I would appreciate that. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Greg. I appreciate that. Let's see. Is it Manolo or Janai? I don't know which one.
Russell was first. Greg Russell was first.
Oh, sorry, you put your hand down. Sorry, Greg.
Oh, I didn't mean to, but it's good. So,
Okay.
Can you quickly show me where the settings are for Play again to get the postcards?
Yes. Let me go in here into the account. So you want to make sure when you go into the client tab here, you're going to go to the account that you want to turn it on. Okay. So like you see here, I'm the agency admin. I'm in my account right now. You can also see that up there. So if I want it to be in this client's account, I would just click here to their platform. And then you just want to go down here to where you toggle that on. It will default being off. So if you guys don't want to deal with any of that, it is a few more steps than our normal like set up and be done kind of thing. But so it is defaulted as off. So you do have to turn it on if you want them to have it. But you just toggle that on there. And then when you do that, you'll see it here in in the advertise tab.
Thank you. Okay, good.
Janai, or I don't know who was next now.
I was here.
Okay.
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
I upgraded from the lowest level of high level to SaaS with you. And I was wondering, doesn't that make me a member?
Yes. Yeah, you're an affiliate though. So you're not like a client, so you don't have access to my dashboard. But yeah, you're an affiliate. And you have access to the membership area and all that.
Yeah, but I thought that when you do the explanation, I thought that makes me a member and have access to your platform.
No, those are clients. So when you have your own high level account, you're an affiliate.
All right, thank you.
Janai, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Good.
Good. I just set up the whole coaching thing in a fresh snapshot. I mean, a fresh sub account and moved some stuff, did a whole migration thing. But I was wondering, I'm setting up a coaches community. So with the snapshot, what am I trying to say? The snapshot link that you have, if there's someone that I'm sponsoring, is that sponsorship going to go to you, or does that do I have to have a whole separate snapshot of it that I share with them to connect that to my affiliate?
Yeah, it's a good question, actually. So when you import a snapshot, let me show you here. When you import a snapshot, it's going to show up here. Okay. Now, what you want to do is load it into an account and then create a snapshot from that account. And when you do that and you share the link for your snapshots, which you can see you can't even share here. But if you go to your snapshots, then you can generate the link and then you'll share it and then it will be attached to your affiliate. It'll have your affiliate code at the bottom of it or like in the link.
Right. Okay. So if I do okay, when you do a snapshot, I've done it before. It's been a minute though. Can you just isolate those things that are in that particular snapshot? Like if I had some other stuff in that sub account, would everything transport over, or?
Let's create a snapshot here. So let's just I'm just going to do test. And then now I want to choose a sub account. Let me stop sharing because I don't want to show like people's information here, but I'm going to just choose this coaching thing. Okay, I can share.
For 100% sure that everything in the account gets copied into the snapshot, not just pieces that you want.
That's what I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah, so let's do next. So you can see here the different pieces, right? But you can't select which ones, okay? But you can select when you load the snapshot into the account. So the actual creation of it, you can see all the things that are going to be added to that snapshot, but the loading of it is when you can determine which parts of the snapshot you want to load.
Okay. Okay.
Cool.
Thank you, ma'am.
Great. Wait, so here's the process, right? Let's say that you love the website. Let's say that you love a website and you love the workflow with it. And obviously you'd have to create a snapshot for that instead of just sharing the template or whatever. What you could do is load the snapshot into a sub account as it is, and then create your snapshot, or create that snapshot or use the snapshot to load into an existing account, but only load the things that you want from it, and then create the snapshot from that.
Okay.
Yeah, just think about whatever you want in that snapshot itself needs to be in the account when it's being created.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Charles.
Question about review requests. So
Mhm.
if if you have review requests in a workflow, but somebody has already completed a review request, can you stop it from being sent? Does that make
Oh, I
sense?
wish. I
Okay,
wish.
okay, still gonna send it anyway if it's in a workflow.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I don't know how they're going to be able to do that because you would have to, it would have to be like a two-way or something, right?
Mhm,
Because like Google would then have to notify high
mhm,
level if that person left a review.
mhm,
But you could also like use a tag system. And I've thought about creating that. I see a future training coming.
mhm.
But if they
Yeah.
left review, you could just tag. I mean, you would have to or actually, I'll have to play around with that and see. But even if let's say manual, when they leave you a review, you add a manual tag, and then you would use anywhere you're saying sending the review request, you'd have to use if else conditional logic and say, if they don't have this tag, then send this review request.
Understood.
I'll do a training on that next week. So that's a good one. Let me make a note. Review request. Cool. Greg, you had a question?
Yes. So on your day 3 of your training, you went through the automation when you create the YouTube video. So it's like RSS to email, the newsletter template, chatbot, reputation management, social media planner. The part that confused me was the part where you said create a YouTube event. So does that fire off RSS as well?
So, definitely check out the training that I did the past couple days. Let me go to my YouTube channel. Let me show you because I talked about that part of it. And the reason I didn't go into that part when I was doing the training, to be quite honest, is it's a high level event and you can't really talk about, third-party tools and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Um, but if you check out these two videos that we did yesterday and today, this walks you through that entire process. You don't have to have like Restream to be able to create a YouTube event. You could technically, to create it, you could just come up here and then do go live. And I did talk about this in the training. You do go live and then you would schedule this. Okay. So you'd schedule the live stream and that's what creates the event. But when you're using like Restream, then it's super easy. You just create it in Restream and then it's connected to all of your platforms. And then now all of the events are created at one time.
But when
So
those events are created, does that also fire off an RSS and start notifying everybody, or is it until the video goes?
it depends on which RSS feed that you use. If you're using that YouTube RSS feed, then that is every time a video is uploaded. So you create the event and then it's going to notify the RSS feed. If you are using the RSS feed for the playlist, then you would need to schedule that event and then add the video to the playlist, and then that would trigger the RSS feed.
Just make sure I'm clear. So basically, when you create the event itself doesn't fire off anything. It's until the video is either done or uploaded is what's going to fire off the RSS.
Creating the event does add a video to your channel, so that the creating of the event does get triggered to the RSS feed. So that's actually what I do every day. I create my event, and that's why I wanted you to check out the two trainings, because that's the second part of all of that. It shows the automations and like the ClickUp and all those extra things that I didn't get to talk about then. But that's what I do every day. I use Restream to create the event, and I'm not actually live until 2 o'clock, but at 1:45, that email goes out to everyone and it picks up that training that I'm going to be discussing in 15 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anthony?
Hey, how you doing, Bridget?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right. Could I share my screen?
Sure.
I wanted to ask you, it's mostly cosmetic, but how do they do that? How do they get this image back there? Do you know?
So that is either a background image of the page or of the panel.
Okay.
So if you go into the editor and you click on that section there, if you go to where it says like image background, if there's a link there, it's that, or it could even be the entire page.
Okay. All right. All right. I had another question. How do you get this to be bigger? I've tried messing with it and I can't get it to get bigger. Is
Yeah,
it
there's a few options. Click on that, the video element right there. Okay, so there's a few options. Scroll down. Okay, go to advanced. Okay, so scroll up. Okay. Why does that look different than I'm used to seeing?
I'm
Well,
wondering
yeah, here's an easy way. Okay, go back to that element. Click on it and you see where see those little dots on the right and left hand side? No, on the right and left side.
Purple dots. Purple dots.
Yep. Or pink or yeah. See on the right and left side of the video.
okay.
All right. Now stretch that out. Just click that. There you
Oh,
go.
all right. Okay.
But see, what you're doing is you're making the video larger, but you're also minimizing the other columns there. So there's another option too, and I'd have to dig around and see where you can change the video size. Is it down there where it says width? Scroll down. No, that's not what I was looking for. Or maybe it's a line.
What he just did with stretching it out is usually the easiest way if you're not going to
Yeah.
put anything else in those tables.
Yeah.
Right.
And you could delete those things too, and then of course make it real big. There's an option though, and maybe you know, Greg. There's an option that says like to make the video, is it full width or is it
Yeah, I couldn't find that.
yeah, that's what I was.
I was looking because that's what I thought, and I couldn't find it. But thank you. I'm trying to
Yeah.
learn how to manipulate all this stuff. I'm getting better.
It's all good. Yeah, I'd have to
Yeah,
dig around. I can't off the top of my head figure out where that is.
Yeah, things
Um,
get moved around sometimes. So I
I
don't
know.
even know if that top of my head. So I use what's the easiest way? It's like let's just move these things and
Yeah,
don't put anything else in the side panels, and this way you can control it.
right. Yeah, if it's me, I would sit there for like 10 minutes and try and be determined until I find it. When I'm
Um,
live, I'm like, let's do the purple dots.
I'm like a dog with a bone. Once it's like I would not let it go until I figure it out.
I know, but you know what? That's what makes successful people. It's the ones who are like, oh, I can't figure it out. I'm gonna go do something else. But it's the ones who are like, I am not gonna stop until I figure this out. Those are the ones
Bridget,
always successful. Yeah.
if you look in the YouTube, if you change the setting in the video to a YouTube setting and go down, it'll show you if you wanted 3/4 for full width or whatever. But I usually use mine the smallest because of mobile.
Oh, so maybe that's what I'm thinking. You're using a hosted video and that's only available on the YouTube. I get it.
Yeah. It is a hosted video. That is it. You got it. Wow.
I mean, you could change it, but when you change it back to hosted, it'll be that size. That's how I do it. Easier for me to find it.
That
So
makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay.
Eric, your studio's on point, by the way.
Yeah, that looked like a whole spaceship back there.
Oh, I didn't redid the whole. It's about to go live. I mean, my whole desk, everything. I'm pretty excited. So we about to go.
That's dope. Yeah.
Yeah, looks good.
Prime Day was good to me.
I know, it's fun too. It's fun doing the whole background. I'll probably redo mine soon again for the millionth time. I don't see any other hands up, so I want to make sure to do our wheel here. Let me pull it up and make sure that I got everybody's name. So we have, let me go in order here.
While you're doing that, I'll ask a very simple question. I know Fridays is like our training here, but on the weekdays when you're doing your call and then open office hours, can I come and ask these same type of questions or should I wait till Friday?
Um, Open office hours is really just like our weekly Q&A session, except it's just not live streamed, which I think is important because not everybody wants to be live and you still have questions. And so also in open office hours, I like it to not be live because a lot of times people need to share their screen and don't really want to share it with, 13,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel and all of my other networks. So yeah. So
Question about that. When you do the live training and then you go to office hours, is that still being streamed on YouTube or do you shut it down for?
And actually, when you watch those two videos that I was telling you about, I even talk about that, how I set up my event and then I'm live streaming from Restream. And then as soon as that's over, I just end that event and I already have my Zoom meeting or my Zoom tab pulled up, and then I just start the Zoom meeting. So it's I'm not
Got it.
I'm not even like using Restream for the actual meetings.
Got
We
it.
just the Zoom.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Let's see. Manny.
Real quick.
Yeah.
I made a Google Calendar. You know how like you have it for your events and stuff like that. So then how do I embed that on, or is there a training I need to look at that shows how to embed that onto the page?
Yes. Of course, there's always a
I
training.
know it's gotta be. It's gotta be
So
something.
let me find it for you. I could just tell you how to do it, but if I show you this video, because you can do it, of course, you can figure out how to embed it, but you also want to make sure that you address the mobile view because you
Mhm.
need to like kind of change the code to make
Okay.
it look like a mobile. So let me find embed Google. Okay, embed a Google Calendar. So this training here will help you to not only figure out how to embed it, but you will be able to, it'll show you how, which I know that you already know, Charles, because if I tell you real quick, it's going to show you how to embed it. And then
Mhm.
what you're going to do is duplicate that. And then you are going to create a mobile view. So you're going to hide the desktop.
I understand.
Yeah. But for some reason it's saying waiting room. Oh, I see. Sorry about that. Trying to figure out Zoom and share link. All right.
Thank you.
So let's make sure that I have everyone on this wheel. I didn't miss anyone. Lots of people in here today. So I'm going to call out your name. Make sure that I call your name. So,
Did you have a
oops.
question, Bridget?
Yes, I did.
You
I was
raised
gonna
your
say,
hand.
my
I can
question,
answer your question.
Charles.
I got
I was
Greg and Terry behind me and the rest of the team. I think we can answer your question.
I hope so. All right. So if I do not call your name, definitely let me know. For those of you who are new, every Friday, if you join us, you do have to be a member to join our Friday group coaching session. But everyone who joins will get their name put on the wheel, and then whoever wins will receive a free private consultation with me. So make
Got two
sure.
Gregs. You may want to
Oh,
figure out which one is which.
Greg, you almost got 2 entries. Thank you for your.
Chelsea Frankie.
I'm not on it.
And I'm here.
I don't know. The list is long. I even like stretched it out today and I didn't even have Ray on here. Okay. All right. So I'm going to call the names. Greg, Anthony, Charles, Janai, Keith, Manny, Terry, Sam, Frankie, and Ray. Did I miss anyone? Going once? Going twice? All righty. Here we go.
Whoa.
What a steal.
Wow.
All right, Ray. I will send you the link to book when we're done here. Did you guys have any other questions or anything I can answer for you before we go today?
Just curious, how are your Tesla garages coming? How is your fleet of Teslas?
Oh, I love it, but it's so funny because I have more, of course, with the way the economy is, my house has doubled in value, but I have more like value in my driveway than I do my actual house. Like the cars are worth more than what I paid for my house 7 years ago. So like definitely I think I have the nicest cars in my entire neighborhood, but it's cool. It's cool. And I love it. Honestly, there's a lot of like controversy about Tesla, and I never wanted one ever. I thought they were super gimmicky and all of that. And then as soon as I won the first one, I thought I'm never going to be able to drive anything other than a Tesla. I think as long as I live. It is just absolutely the coolest thing. We go on road trips all the time. We never have an issue. All the things that people complain about. I mean, we're going on a year now of driving two, and I don't really have any complaints. So I think that kind of speaks volumes. But
in Vancouver, every corner's got 6 white Teslas in all directions. So if you don't have one, you're out of the club like me.
Yeah. Honestly, if I had never had one, I never would have bought a Tesla ever. But having got the first one and then the second one, and it's like, okay, well, I didn't have to buy one. But honestly, if I have to buy the next one, it will probably be a Tesla because it's like Joe Rogan said, you never realize how dumb your cars are until you drive a smart one. And it's insane, the difference.
There's so many here. We have to alter how we look at a car and where it can be in a certain time. Because if you're old like me and you drive a normal car, you look around, there's no way a car could catch up that fast. But now there's a, granny in a Tesla hits the whatever pedal and she's right beside you and you're like, oh, damn it.
Man, you know what? Honestly, that's my favorite part of the Teslas is the speed from
ludicrousness.
It's what?
The ludicrousness of the ludicrous.
But I'm just saying, like, I don't even try to show off, but if I'm the first car at a red light, I am just zooming. And then it's like everybody's like miles behind me. I'm like, I really didn't try to do that, but it's just so fast. And then, oh my gosh, getting on the highway, like, and on the like the overpass or whatever you call that when you get on the highway. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Like merging into highway traffic is never a problem anymore. It's so cool. But I could talk all day about Tesla. Maybe I'll create a video or something. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. As always, it's a pleasure, and I will see you all on Monday, and I am going to do that training that we talked about. So cool stuff coming next week. Thank you all for joining me. Ray, I'm going to send you the link to book that session as soon as we're done here. Have an awesome weekend, and I'll see